Hi there. In this video, I'd like to distinguish between two types of variables that can exist in classes, class variables and instance variables. You've seen how attributes can be set on all instances using the init method. Attributes are also called instance variables. Every instance of the point class will have the instance variables x and y, though each point can have different values for those variables. I want you to imagine the class definition for point is this thing from which all point objects come. Whenever a point object is created, the class definition gives it the variables x and y. Each point object gets its own x and y. The variables x and y don't belong to the point class itself, but rather to each instance that it spawns off. Okay, back to the code. We've got two instance variables. Now let's add a class variable. Here's what that looks like. This is a variable that doesn't belong to any particular object. Rather, it belongs to the class as a whole. That means we can use it like this. We refer to it as point.numPointsMade. This can actually happen even without any instances of the point class being created. Now, at the moment, numPointsMade isn't very interesting. Let's make it actually do something. Now, every time the init method is called, or every time we create a point object, this variable will go up by 1. Quick note on the plus equals operator. It basically adds the amount on the right to the thing on the left. This is the same as saying point.numPointsMade equals point.numPointsMade plus 1. Okay, now if we make 2 points before printing point.numPointsMade, the console shows 2. Alright, here's a weird thing about this variable numPointsMade. It's a class variable, so it belongs to the point class as a whole, and you can access it by saying point.numPointsMade. But you can also access it via an instance. To understand what's going on here, let's go back to the pictures for a second. Now the point class looks like this. It has a variable in it. When we make a point object, numPointsMade goes up by 1. This variable still belongs to the class, not the instance. We can make another point object, and numPointsMade goes up again. When we print point.numPointsMade, this accesses the variable numPointsMade within the point class. When we print p2.numPointsMade, here's what Python does. First, it looks inside p2 for an instance variable called numPointsMade. If it doesn't find anything, it then looks in the class definition for a variable called numPointsMade. In this case, that's where Python finds what it's looking for. While you can access class variables through instances, the opposite is not true. You cannot access an instance variable through the class. This makes sense. It would be ambiguous which instance you wanted the variables from anyway. Here's another implementation of the point class. In this version, as of now, there are no instance variables. X and Y are both stored as class variables. This probably makes no sense right now, so just trust me that you'll see in a second why this version of the point class is important to understand. You can change the value of a class variable after the class is defined. In this case, we change the class variable x to 10. That means that printing p1.x finds the value 10 inside the point class. But what if, instead of setting point.x, we set p1.x? Well, sure enough, p1's value of x ends up being 10, but the class variable remains unchanged. And so does p2's value for x. Alright, back to pictures? Okay, let's figure out what's going on here. Here's our class point with its two class variables x and y. We immediately make a couple of points. These objects do not have instance variables. When we set p1.x, we actually aren't affecting the class variables at all. Instead, we create an instance variable only in p1 called x. Now, when Python looks in p1 for something called x, it finds the instance variable before it has a chance to keep looking in the class definition for a class variable called x. The instance variable in p1 effectively masks the class variable in the point class. This is called shadowing, and it is a concept that actually extends beyond just classes and instances. When we print p1.y, Python first looks for an instance variable called y in p1. It doesn't find one, so it moves on to the class definition and finds the class variable instead. When we print point.x, Python bypasses the instances and looks directly in the class definition for something called x. It finds it, and 0 appears in the console. When we print p2.x, Python first looks for an instance variable called x in p2. It doesn't find one, so it moves on to the class and finds the class variable there. Once again, the result of this is a 0 appearing in the console. Okay, so what's the point of all this? It probably still seems weird that we made x and y class variables in the first place. After all, philosophically, they are things that belong to each point object. In this particular case, yes, this example is a bit contrived. However, it is useful to know that class variables, in addition to representing things that are common across a whole class, can also represent things that each instance has the option of overriding by shadowing it with an instance variable. Let's take a step back for a second and look at some of what we've learned so far. We're learning about object-oriented programming. Programming with objects. An object is just about anything that can store information in Python. A class defines what a particular type of object can do and what it can store. Variables belonging to the class are called class variables, or class attributes. You can make objects whose type is a particular class, and these objects are referred to as instances of that class. Instances can have their own variables, called instance variables or instance attributes. When an instance variable and a class variable have the same name, this is called shadowing. The instance variable shadows the class variable if the variable is accessed through the instance. One thing that isn't pictured here is methods. Remember that these are functions that belong to a class and are called on specific instances of the class. Quick word of advice regarding this lesson. If you get stuck trying to wrap your head around what's going on with the classes and instances in a particular program, I'd highly recommend just drawing out a diagram like this one. That way, you can see at a glance who is responsible for what variables, what types of variables are at play, and where Python is going to look when trying to access a particular variable.